Angels and guides, you hear a lot about them, but what are they?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you, Gav, because I guess we've all got our preconceived idea about what the angels are, but there's always people getting confused with, you know, the archangels, and then what's my guardian angel and who are my guides, and, you know, I think you are probably what we would call an expert on this topic.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but let me have a go. So,
okay.
Let's start with the low, dare I say the low level? Not really, but
no,
you know,
the ones that are closest to us.
You. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Is your guides. So they're the ones that are kind of somewhat attached to you over the course of your life, and people hold a fairly high view of those people, you know, of your guides. You know, think, oh, you know, they know everything and they'll be able to guide me through everything.
Yeah,
and
find me a car parking space. That's what we usually call upon them for.
I must admit, I use parking angels for that.
Parking
but anyway,
angels. They're always good.
Another time. Guides are really, I guess from my mind, not to make it too scientific, but sort of have a wider view of what your life is. So you're in 3D kind of world, running around in time, so time is in sequence. Yeah. And for them, they kind of have an elevated view, so they can sort of see
across
your life without the obstruction of time.
Yeah.
So that allows them to sort of see a lot of the possibilities and permutations and combinations of things that might happen to you. Well, that's pretty good information. If you
but you've just got to then hear it.
Well,
and that's the thing that most people find difficult. How do you get to talk to them? How do you listen?
There's some good ways to do that. I actually, depending on what I'm doing, I like to just sit at a laptop and type. So what comes to my mind, I'll just type it. Because I find that then you don't lose what is being said. Yeah. Another way, just start talking and listen
to what you're saying.
Listen to what you're saying, and also listen to if there's, you know, thoughts in your head that are coming back. You will start to adjust in the four hemispheres of your brain. There'll be one point that'll be your guides. Now, it's different for different people, and that is probably the most confusing thing for most people.
Because it sounds like I'm just talking to myself.
Exactly.
And you have to kind of sift through all of that.
You do.
Well, I mean, you do the cards, and a few people have asked, you know, what cards are you using? But obviously you are talking to guides to help you with those readings as well.
Absolutely.
Which is a little different to what I do with the astrology in terms of looking at the planetary positions. So how do they help you with the reading? Well,
the cards that I use actually are called the Goddess Oracle, and they, so most people when they go to a tarot reader use tarot decks. They use a Rider-Waite deck.
Yeah.
And it's based very much in old school, you know.
And some of those images look so scary that if you go to a tarot reader and the outcome's the death card, it's
you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Which really, it means not that at all.
Change.
Usually it means change. Yeah. These are a little more, they deal with the emotional aspects of a reading. So when you're asking a question, most people, the reason they don't do something, or the reason they're having an issue, or they can't work out why this person and this person are not getting on, or the situation with their money, you know, what is blocking them.
Well, that's quite emotional too, a lot of the time.
Well, most of the issues you have in a mundane life are emotionally based. So what these do is actually highlight that and say, well, have a think about these issues while you're doing this. There are also pictorials of situations like, you know, being a mother, you know, anger and all sorts of other things that come through. And the guide part of it is the interpretation of the cards.
Yes.
So
it's all the interpretation, isn't it? Then it comes down to us. We have to work out what it all means.
Well, a good divination artist will be someone that can take the tool, that's the physical tool, and divine and bring it down to the tool and then use it. Same with an astrologer. So when you pick up a chart, I mean, you probably identify relatively quickly there's a planet that just goes bing on the chart, and that's the sort of the divination.
Exactly, and that's what that information's coming through.